What's up, Midnight Crew? It is your girl Midnight, and I am here live with you all late night for y'all who might still be up. A very late night with Midnight. Midnight want to talk about a little bit of something. It's just chopping it up with Midnight. That's what we doing right now. It ain't gonna be no long session. We just gonna chop it up for a few things. I'm gonna hit on some pointers that I feel like I want to speak on. Midnight again. I'm gonna say this. Midnight is using StreamYard to do a lot of her lives, especially on here because I can't really go live the regular way. So this is a great way for me to go live on here. But I also want to be talking about something else, y'all. Like in my city, I don't know if it's indefinite around the United States of America, but it's like a lot of thefts with cars here going on. Well, these teenagers are hopping in these cars and stealing folks' cars. They even went so far as to not just stealing cars, but they went so far as to just like vandalizing cars now. And it's like got real horrible here. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So that's where a lot of this stuff is happening. Like we just had something I want to say yesterday where a lot of the teenagers they really like vandalized over like 10 cars. Like they bust the windows and they went just down in a line. So it's like people who live here and who work hard for the things that they work for, they got to worry about it being damaged or being vandalized by ruthless teenagers because they just don't have no care in the world. Where I feel like, if people actually know these people who doing this crap, they ought to be telling them that, that's not so bright. The ideal of even getting caught by the police, but that's one thing. But to what about the person who's seeing them vandalizing their stuff? It can really get them hurt. Like it can get them killed because some people don't play about their worldly possessions that they work hard for, and they got that right. Because I mean, who would want to wake up and find out that their car has been stolen, or who want to wake up and find out that their car's been windows been busted, and the car's been trashed because they looking to take whatever is in your car. So, I mean, no valuables. I will suggest for anybody who stay in this area or in this state, Milwaukee, the city, no valuables. If you got valuables in your car, don't leave them in there, because these kids is hitting up people's cars, and they staying stuck to. I think they staying stuck to one part of the city, but I feel like they gonna, migrate around and move around. So it's like nobody is really safe with their cars right now. And whether they parked or not, they vandalizing cars and they just trashing them. And they doing this for fun. Like this is nothing to be doing for fun. This can get you killed. It really could. Another thing I wanted to speak on, y'all, is like we all just found out like about Regina King and her son, really committing suicide. So everybody really needs to know how serious like suicide is. It's real serious, and so serious enough to where I'm gonna say to a lot of y'all and to everybody who watching this or listening to this live that make sure that your people, your kids, your mental status is good, because we sometimes we just do not know where a person's mind be. I'm gonna give y'all a true story. It's just that you don't know where people's minds be at, and we all gonna send condolences to her because I mean I'm sure that she didn't even know the depth of her own son's depression, that he was dealing with. Whatever it was, it could have been depression, suicide, and suicidal people has a lot of symptoms to go with that. So I'm sure she didn't even see this coming, or she didn't even think that this would possibly be something that she had to deal with. And nor do a lot of people, because it's a lot of people who's been in her shoes, or there's probably some that's similar going through things that she's going through right now, like with the loss of her son. It's many of people who have probably lost loved ones due to suicide. But let me give y'all a story real quick on suicide and on how you never know where a person's minds be at. Now, I work in a hospital, and I started my job there in 2018, so it was about August. So this event that I'm talking about didn't happen that year because it was the summer of August. But when this happened, it was also the summer, so it was 2019. Okay. Now, it was a very chaotic on the unit that day. And you know, when you work in a hospital, we have several codes in the hospital. So when you hear them, you know what codes it's for, because certain codes are called out for certain things. Now, in this particular day, though, they called out a code blue. And now, a code blue is the code that they would use if somebody needed like emergency or immediate like medical attention, like right away, like the medical team is coming, and they're coming basically because a person is either needing CPR, or they damn near need to be resuscitated again. That's what that means. So it was a code blue. So it's a code blue is very important in a hospital. So they called a code blue in a hospital, and all of a sudden everybody is chaotic because first of all, they paid for a person to call a unit. That was the first page. I'm gonna take that back. Let's go back. First off, a page came for them to page this individual for them to contact the unit. Now, mind you, we hadn't even been in the middle of COVID, hadn't even started. This is 2019. We started COVID at the top of 2020. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a family member that they trying to contact. I'm not gonna assume that it's just a worker, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be a family member that needs to report back to a unit due to maybe a loved one. But then after that page of them overheading the person, following that page, there was a code blue. Now, with this code blue, everybody got to panicking. And everybody was just moving and shaking around because obviously the person did not hit back the unit. But come to find out, the next day when I go into work, somebody, I don't know who saw the person, but somebody has seen the individual they were looking for. And guess what happened with that individual? That individual was seen, it could have been by a patient or by another worker in the hospital, but they seen this individual in the parking structure of the hospital. That individual jumped from the parking structure of the hospital and committed suicide right at work. And then the next day we found out that it actually was a worker. So I'm just saying that goes back to the suicide thing. You just don't never know where a person's mind be at. You know how they say, well, did you supposed to leave your personal problems at the door when you come to work? But we don't never know where somebody or what somebody's dealing with outside of work. And not to add, it may be stressors from work adding to this person already being stressed out from their personal issues. So we don't know the title. We don't know what that person have done in the hospital as far as work. All I know that it was a team member. And that team member really just committed suicide that day. That person jumped from the west structure, the parking structure, and committed suicide. And it was just so sad to hear. Like, it was really sad to hear that that person ended up jumping from that structure and committing suicide. So you got to check on your people. You got to make sure your people heads is together. You got to make sure your mental status is together, because I mean, sometimes people don't want to bring their personal issues into the workplace or into other things, but it just be the burdens that certain people be dealing with you know what I'm saying, that just overwhelms them, and then they have to be into a situation to where, they completed what they were looking to do in the first place. So make sure your mental state is together. Make sure your emotional state is together. Make sure you talking to somebody, because it's not really good to like keep those kind of emotions in a bottle. You want to talk to somebody, and I understand it and I get it. The reason why people don't like to talk to people, because they're afraid of what others will do with information that they reveal to other people, because a lot of people use information that is told to them in confidence, and they do run their mouth, and they do talk about people, and they do use this person's information that was shared against them. And this is why a lot of people do not like to share, and this is why a lot of people do not like to open up when it comes to them talking about their mental state. So we got to stop being so judgmental, and we got to start being more of a better listener and being a more understanding person when it comes to that, because that's serious. Like, mental illness is so real. So if you know somebody, and it's always signs, people be like they don't see the signs, but a person that's going through something, if you know this person used to be so bubbly and joyous, and all of a sudden they just so withdrawn from each other or withdrawn from people, they not themselves, those are signs of something going on with people. We got to be able to watch for the signs that we see with people who we know and our loved ones, because they do show you certain signs, to indicate that something is not right. And so we need to be able to just watch out for that. And I just will encourage everybody, if you are like in a dark place, battling demons like that, if you can't figure it out, if you feel like you have nobody to talk to on a personal note, it's okay to go to these, professionals and let them help you out. Because, I mean, you don't want to end up in a situation like this to where you doing that, because, the suicide rate is up high. It's so many people that did committed suicide, and it happens every day. So when people think that mental illness is something to be a joke or laughed at, it's really not. We need to be out here trying to reach out to people who suffering with stuff like that, and be a listener for them, be an ear for them. They don't want to feel judged, by people. And that's the last thing they want to do, is feel judged by somebody, especially when they feel like they pouring out their heart to you and talking to you in confidence about what's personally going on with them. You never want to use somebody else's information against them, for bad. If you are a good person and you are a person who wants to help somebody, you're not going to do that anyways. So make sure y'all stay up on your mental status, because it's real. you know that's not going to be the first time we hear about it, and it's not going to be the last time. But we want at least to get a hold on it somewhere. Somewhere. Let that be the helping hand that somebody need. Somebody in that right. Lastly, we gonna touch down on this little StreamYard thing here. Again, I'm using this because I want to be able to engage with my subscribers and then other people, because you know what, to be totally honest, if I'm gonna be honest, a lot of my views and stuff, when I look at the analytics of that stuff, when you look at your statuses of your content and stuff that you putting out here on YouTube, one thing I found out is that a lot of my viewers are not people who are subscribed to my channel, which I appreciate that, because that means that a lot of people who are not subscribed are still watching my videos. And the things that I put on my YouTube channel, I'm going to continue to put out on my YouTube channel, whether people watch or not, because I feel like I talk about real life issues, and a lot of people don't like to hear about stuff like that, but that's stuff that we're supposed to be able to touch on. It shouldn't always be about drama, and it shouldn't always be negative or whatnot. Like, people don't like to talk about real life issues, and that's really what I do on my channel. If I'm not doing a cooking tutorial, or if I'm not doing a session where I'm sitting down talking. I do cooking tutorials. I do some hauls with clothing on here. I might show some nice bags that I have. I might vlog here and there, but I like to really have like real life discussions. Like that's what my channel is for. So that's what I'm doing it for. And that's what I'm going to continue to use it for because it's to spread awareness and that's what I'm going to do. So whether people like, obviously there are people who feel like this content that I am putting out here is worth watching because I get views on it, but I will want to interact with people. And this is why I do this live thing so that I can actually be able to interact with people and so that I'm able to get to know people who are subscribed to my channel. I really don't know who are subscribers. I just know how many subscribers I have, and I'm grateful for that because when I first started out with this whole thing, I started with 6 subscribers. Now I'm up to 28. I'm just going to trust the process. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to trust the process with this here. And it's going to get where it needs to get. But like I said, I'm not going to be messy to get where I need to get. I feel like I'm just going to stick to real life discussions. I'm going to stick to that and I'm going to stay on that because I feel like those are things that people may not want to hear, but those are things that people need to hear because it's just a lot going on in the world today. It's a whole lot more than just drama. It's real life things going on in our world that we need to be touching on, trying to fix, and that's a lot of people, not just myself. It's a lot of people on here who do things like that, but it's also a lot of messy and drama up on YouTube, and a lot of people like that kind of stuff. But again, Midnight is going to do what Midnight wants to do. And if I feel like Midnight needs to spread her awareness in that right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do just that, y'all. So that's what Midnight came on here to tell y'all. It's late night chopping it up with Midnight. And this is what Midnight here to do. Sometime I'm going to be live like this. Sometime y'all going to be able to see me, live on camera, but I like the little StreamYard thing. It's real nice and it's real cool. And I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it. I see a lot of YouTubers using it this way. A lot of YouTubers actually would use this more than they would, see their face. But see, I don't mind showing my face. I got a lot of videos on my channel. And sometimes I'm gonna be on here with my face, but that's all for tonight, y'all. It's real late. It's almost 12 o'clock in the morning. And I know a lot of y'all probably got work weeks to start, myself included. So I'm going to let y'all go. I'm not going to keep y'all, but I want y'all to like, comment. You can leave a comment and subscribe to Midnight Crew. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the Midnight Crew. It's free to subscribe. I mean, it won't hurt y'all to press that button, subscribe, press a like, won't hurt y'all to do any of that. So just make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to Midnight Crew. And all of you guys have a good night. Hope y'all all have a blessed week starting out. Same for myself. And I'll be seeing y'all in a little bit. Other than that, Midnight is out.